He went and ran instead of coming in.
That's a good thing.
Good evening. I'm going to call this meeting to order.
I, however, came in 8.
This is the Grand Terrace County Board of Commissioners. It's December 23rd. At this time, if we could turn off all cell phones or put them on mute, I'd appreciate that. We'll have the opening ceremonies with the invocation and the Pledge of Allegiance. The invocation will be a moment of silence for Township Trustee and Commissioner Larry Fleece. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Inman?
Here.
Max Bauer?
Here.
Rennie?
Present.
Thomas?
Yep.
Wheelock?
Yes, ma'am.
Lemkool?
Yes.
And Lathrop is excused.
Right. Okay, next on the agenda is approval of minutes from November 25th.
Mr. Chairman, I would move to approve the regular board minutes of November 25th.
Second.
Second by Inman. Any motion, any
Discussion.
concerns? All those in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion is carried. Next is December 1st special board meeting.
Mr. Chairman, I'll make a motion to approve the December 1st, 2014 special board meeting on the budget.
Support.
Support by Max Bauer. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion is carried. Next is December 3rd special board meeting.
Mr. Chairman, I would move to approve the special board meeting road commission interviews of December 3rd.
Support by Thomas.
Yeah, why not?
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion's carried. Next is December 17th special board meeting.
Mr. Chairman, I'd move to approve the special board meeting road commission interviews of December 17th.
Support by Rennie.
Yes.
Sure.
Any other discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion's carried. Next on the agenda is our first public comment. Bonnie, if you could read the rules, please.
Any person shall be permitted to address a meeting of the Board of Commissioners which is required to be open to the public under the provision of the Michigan Open Meetings Act as amended. Public comment shall be carried out in accordance with the following board rules and procedures. 1. Any person wishing to address the board shall state his or her name and address. 2. No person shall be allowed to speak more than once on the same matter, excluding time needed to answer commissioners' questions. The chairperson shall control the amount of time each person shall be allowed to speak, which shall not exceed 3 minutes. Chairperson may, at his or her discretion, extend the amount of time any person is allowed to speak.
Hearing the rules, anybody from the public like to make comment at this time? Please step forward and introduce yourself. Thank you.
My name is Kevin Summers, address 8925 Sunset West, Traverse City, Michigan. I want to address the board just briefly about the new private rail crossing agreements that Great Lakes Central Rail is enforcing in Grand Traverse County. I think they're potentially very problematic for citizens trying to purchase property in the county and could be for private landowners in the county who have to access their land over private rail crossings. The new private rail crossing agreement requires landowners to pay a yearly fee of $500 for service and maintenance of the rail crossing, and also requires landowners to insure the crossing at a limit of $5 million per occurrence. There's only one insurance product available to insure the crossings that's not intended for private landowners, and Great Lakes Central Rail is not inclined to bargain or negotiate with individuals because they are Great Lakes Central Rail, and it's kind of enshrined in law that they can have it their way. So what I'm looking for is maybe some help from the commission on figuring this out, and to kind of make you aware that this could potentially be a problem in the county, because according to Great Lakes Central Rail, they intend to enforce this agreement eventually with anyone who has to cross a private rail crossing and get to their property. A lot of people are not paying any fees right now, or are paying only $100 a year. And I think these new requirements could be very burdensome for any county residents.
Thank you.
Yep.
Anybody else from the public like to make comment? John? Or
John Nelson, 4022 Incochee Crest Commons, Traverse City. I'd like to speak in regard to item number 10 on your agenda, the soil erosion. As all of you know, realize, and honor, we are blessed in the Grand Traverse Bay watershed with clean water. Millions of dollars and countless hours have been, are, and will be spent to preserve this clean water legacy. Over half of our watershed is covered by surface water. Our quality of life is defined by this water. Our economy is dependent on maintaining the integrity of this water. The two major threats to the quality of the water are nutrients and sediments. These two are linked as sediment carries nutrients. Under state law, the responsibility and accountability to oversee soil erosion and sediment discharge rests with you, the county commissioners. That accountability is delegated through your administrator to a department head and on to those in the field to implement Part 91 law. Throughout your debate and discussion on the process to carry out your responsibility, you mentioned fiscal concerns and the need to save taxpayer money. Developers and home builders, as well as some township officials, voice concerns about timely, seamless, and efficient processing of permits. Both are very legitimate concerns. What seems to be absent in your discussion is a commitment to clean water. I would suggest that direction be clearly given by the County Commission to your administrator and to your implementation teams that our most important and iconic natural resource be the top priority in implementing state law. As stated in Part 91 statute, water quality should be the driving mission. Thank you.
thank you, John.
You're welcome.
Chuck?
Good evening on your last meeting of the year. Chuck Korn, 4111 Summerhill Road, Traverse City, Michigan, Garfield Township, actually. I think you've all received a copy of the letter that was signed by all the participating communities in the Community Police Officer Program. This is a voluntary program, and many of these communities participate because they feel that having a safe and secure community is important to them. The contracts and the terms, as I've said in the past, offered us a reasonable expectation of what our costs would be. Any plan to raise the costs continuously until you balance your budget on the backs of the townships is going to leave you with the responsibility of fixing what you break. Thank you.
Thank you. Jay?
Good evening.
Jay Zollinger, Acton Township. First, I'd like to thank Mr. Lemcool, Larry, Richard, Thomas, Charlie for your service. Been great to have you here. I don't know if you think you're retiring or not. You'll probably all get called back to do something and help, but we appreciate your interface, to, at least to our township. I am here to talk a little bit about CPO tonight also. And I just encourage that we get our meeting, we sit down and talk. We talk about the quality of life we want in this county, what we expect out of community policing, and also the statistics and the information that's available to all of us. So as decisions are made, it's less emotional and more about the facts and what's appropriate. So please consider those things for those that will be going forward, and I know they have in the past. Sonny, Christine, and our new board members that take those into consideration. Thank you.
Go ahead, Glenn.
Good evening. Glenn Lyle, East Bay Township Supervisor. I would echo the same thing the previous two supervisors echoed. The one thing that did upset me, and it still upsets me when I think about it, that the county is not subsidizing the township. The township is subsidizing the county. And I challenge any of you to look at the forms that are filled out and the number of hours that are spent and tell me any different. You got the letter. I just ask that we get a time together and everybody can sit down. On a lighter note, I'd like to thank all of the commissioners, those leaving, those staying for your time. I know we don't always see eye to eye, but you know, believe it or not, my wife and I don't either. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to all of you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Glenn. Anybody else in the public? Chris?
Merry Christmas. Happy holidays to those. Christopher Rideau, 2745 Green Meadows Drive. I'm here tonight to talk about the Circuit Court contract and to offer some congratulations. To those retiring board members, congratulations. You're getting out just in time. To those new board members, congratulations. You're coming in just in time to be blamed. The ticker talked about a vision for Grand Traverse County. I have one. It's called bankruptcy. The Circuit Court can't get off the pension plan because it's underfunded. If I were on the Circuit Court, I'd want to get off the plan as quickly as possible too, because the pension money isn't there. But having a defined contribution plan like the rest of the employees in the county, the money would be there because it'd be in your own individual account. Despite MERS earning the county a nearly 15% return last year, their trailing 10-year return remains under 8%, which is their assumed discount rate, a rate last year I told you can't be consistently achieved. What does this mean? It means our pension problem got bigger in spite of a great return on our investments. My words have fallen on mostly deaf ears, so let me share some words from the great Warren Buffett. In his annual letter to shareholders this last year, he said, "Local and state financial problems are accelerating in large part because public entities promised pensions they couldn't afford. Citizens and public officials typically underappreciated that gigantic financial tapeworm that was born when promises were made that conflicted with a willingness to fund them. Unfortunately, pension mathematics today remain a mystery to most Americans. During the next decade, you will read a lot of news, bad news, about public pension plans. I hope you understand the necessity for prompt remedial action where the problems exist. Grand Traverse County has a problem. Our funding level has not increased beyond 48.9% in the last 8 years. But even worse, the pension hole has gone from $35 million to $42.5 million. How did this happen? Because every year people retire from the county, people that were qualified for the pension. According to last year's report, we can look forward to 96 more people retiring. Well, I have news for those future retirees and the ones that are currently on the pension system. The money isn't there. For over 10 years, our pension has been underfunded, just as Warren Buffett described. So for the new board members, congrats. You're going to be blamed for it because the can has all but run out of road. As I have offered in the past and few have accepted, I am more than willing to help the new board find a good solution, but I would like to see some accountability by not only the board, but also administration. This may seem harsh, but Grand Traverse County is one of the 5% worst funded pension systems in the state of Michigan. There's 711 of them, so we're really achieving. New board members, it is time to make the tough decisions, fix this problem, and stop telling people they can have their cake and eat it too. That time is over. And pension obligation bonds only take something that was off balance sheet and put them on balance sheet and then extend the problem for twice as long as it should. Let's address this. Thank you.
Thank you, Chris. Anybody else? Nope.
We'll talk about a segue for a new board member. I should have gone first, maybe, right? Lisa Kropa, your county parks president, last time addressing you. In your agenda, under new business number 1, you'll see the Twin Lakes business plan. I have a previous commitment that may not be here when that comes up, so I wanted to say I'm here if you had a question when you read it. It's the product of our county business development team for this year. Last year we did Power Island, this year Twin Lakes. Next year we look forward to the Civic Center. Our goal at the county business development team is to look for ways to increase revenue in our parks to offset the expenses so that we can keep having the same great parks that we have for everybody and give them the same level of service that they expect. So Twin Lakes Business Park or business team plan was really a labor of love over this year, and I'm really proud of it. One of the things to let you know, we had a couple of different rules changes on our commission lately, allowing our director to have more leniency in bringing people in, setting the limits for the liability policies, the different scope of events, and the alcohol, allowing the alcohol for those events. And that all falls in the hands of the director now rather than the commission. And I think that that's going to be critical in us seeing where we need to go with this plan. It's all trial by fire now. We can only guess what the community is going to want, what kind of events they want to host there, and how they want to use their park. But we tried to set up the best fee structure that we could for that. Again, remembering this is an amendable breathing plan. As a reminder, Power Island business plan, we greatly, drastically changed our fees in the ferry system after we saw that we were operating at a loss. So we intend to do that with Twin Lakes. If this does, when it comes up on the agenda, have significant questions, Commissioner Max Bauer is on our Parks Commission, which approved this unanimously at last week's Parks meeting. And other than that, if anyone didn't have any questions, I'm just real proud of the board. It was a pleasure to serve as president. I can honestly say I learned more in that year of my life than I probably learned in any other year of my life, and that's after 4 kids, so that's saying a lot, right? I think I leave it better than I stepped in, and we're in great hands with our director and our board. I will continue to serve for 2 years on that board under the direction of the new president and director. And now stepping in as the Board of Commissioner member, when we reconvene after the new year, I just want to make a special thanks to Commissioner Thomas and let him know that in your absence, in at least the next 2 years, I will offer up cat licensing under revenue ideas. I promise you, each year, that will be on the list of revenue-raising ideas. Thanks all for a very unique and interesting year that I learned a lot, and I look forward to sitting with several of you next week, 2 weeks from now. So, thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else in the public like to make comment? Seeing none, we'll go on to the approval of the agenda. Is there any additional items to be put on the agenda?
I have one. Under 9, under Human Resources, D, and I'd like to add an item D, the Circuit Court Supervisors Association Collective Bargaining Agreement, and that is a 1-year agreement.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman, I'll make a motion to approve the agenda with that addition of 9D as presented.
Do I have support?
Support.
By Wheelock. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion's carried. Next is the consent calendar.
The purpose of the consent calendar is to expedite business by grouping non-controversial items together to be dealt with by one commission motion without discussion. Any member of the commission, staff, or the public may ask that any item on the consent calendar be removed and placed elsewhere on the agenda for full discussion. Such requests will be automatically respected. If any item is not removed from the consent calendar, the action noted, receive and file, or approval, is approved by a single commission action adopting the consent calendar. A, receive and file. Number 1, correspondence dated November 11th regarding soil erosion. Number 2, correspondence dated November 18th regarding road commission. Number 3, Grand Traverse County Farmland Preservation Minutes of May 1st, 2013. Number 4, Area Agency on Aging Minutes of October 2nd. Number 5, Traverse Area District Library Minutes of October 23rd. Number 6, Northwestern Regional Airport Commission Minutes of October 28th. Number 7, Grand Traverse County Brownfield Redevelopment Authority Minutes of October 29th. Number 8, Grand Traverse County Department of Human Services Minutes of October 31st. Number 9, Northwestern Regional Airport Commission Minutes of November 25th. Approvals. The Public Health and Safety Committee recommends approval of the following. Number 10, Commission on Aging grant funding to outside agencies. Number 11, Commission on Aging approval of bylaws for 2015. Number 12, Commission on Aging 2015-2016 Equipment Repair and Maintenance Contract Home Chore Program. Number 13, Commission on Aging 2015 Vehicle Repair and Maintenance Contract Home Chore Program. Number 14, Commission on Aging 2015-2016 On-Call Contract Services. Number 15, Martin Luther King Training Day 2015. Number 16, Employee Assistance Program Contract Renewal for 2015. Number 17, Revised Health Insurance Policy. Number 18, Child and Adolescent Health Center Grant, Kingsley Adolescent Health Center. Number 19, Child and Adolescent Health Center Grant, Youth Health and Wellness Center. Number 20, Health Department Dental Services Agreement, Amendment Number 17. Number 21, Medical Directive Services Agreement with Benzie-Leelanau District Health Department. Number 22, Sheriff's Department 2015 Vehicle Fleet Maintenance Agreement. Number 23, Central Dispatch 2015 Radio Maintenance Contract. Number 24, Commission on Aging Acceptance of Foundation Donation. The Resource Management Administration Committee recommends approval of the following. Number 25, approval of amended Brownfield Plan, Boardman Lake Avenue Pathway for Trail System. Number 26, appointment of city representatives as recommended. Number 27, appointments to boards and committees, Planning Commission, Farmland Preservation Board, and Board of Public Works. The Ways and Means Committee recommends approval of the following. Number 28, appointments to boards and committees, Veterans Affairs and Community Corrections. Number 29, APS Electronic Ticketing Software Maintenance and Support Contract. Number 30, ESRI GIS Software Maintenance Support Renewal. Number 31, ImageSoft OnBase Software Maintenance Support Renewal. Number 32, New World System Software Maintenance Support Renewal. Number 33, December 2014 2% Tribal Grant Applications. Number 34, MSU Extension Agreement for Extension Services. Number 35, Juror Fee Debit Cards. Number 36, Budget Adjustments. Number 37, Property and Liability Insurance. Number 38, Senior Center Network Fund Balance Commitment. Number 39, Travel Policy Addendum 2015. Number 40, Transfer of Functions of the Resource Recovery Council. Number 41, Appointments to Boards and Committees, Commission on Aging and Airport Commission.
Hearing the consent calendar, is anybody from the audience like any item from the consent calendar removed? Is there any commissioner that would like anything removed? Chris?
Number 34 and number 37, please.
Okay.
Number 13, please.
Okay. Anything else? A motion to approve consent calendar as amended.
Mr. Chairman, I would move to approve the consent calendar with the exception of items number 13, 34, and 37.
Second.
Second by Inman. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's carried. Next on the agenda is special orders of business. So at this time, I'm going to make a presentations to some people that are very critical for our community. The first one is Judge Haley. Judge, would you come forward, please? Judge, we really appreciate everything that you've done for our community, and thank you. God bless you.
This speech won't take longer than 45 minutes. Just a quick thank you, really, to the commissioners. I'm glad Bob Cooney, the prosecutor, is here, and saw Tom Bensley here earlier. So the law enforcement, prosecutor, commissioners present. It's important because the work that we did, that I was able to do, really, you allowed me to do that because you cooperated. Some of you are long enough in the tooth, Inman and Thomas, you know, that you remember the new courthouse and getting that put together, and the struggle and the challenges with that, the sobriety court. All of that took a lot of, really a leap of faith when it comes to the prosecutor, and a lot of cooperation from the boards of commissioners to not look our budget over too closely when we were trying to get stuff in there. So I appreciate your help. Thank you very much. And it's been a great ride, and we'll see you again.
Thank you, Mike.
The next one I have is a certificate of appreciation to Greg Pathouse who is retiring from our community mental health. Thank you for your leadership and everything you've done for our community.
So mine will be much shorter. I want to thank the commissioners for the work you do and the support and encouragement you've provided me and our organization. I'm always so impressed with how you involve the community and hear the voice of people and the public comments. You do a great job, and it's been my privilege to serve you for the last 11 years, and I'll be around until we see you again.
Thank you, Greg. The next certificate goes to Dave Taylor, who's retiring from the Road Commission. And I don't believe Dave is here.
Not here.
No.
Okay, thank you. Now I'll turn it over to Sonny Wheelock.
Were you going to do this? You have one more.
This certificate I'm presenting to not just one individual, but many individuals from the health department and the great work that they've been able to do. When it comes to whooping cough, and then we have measles, then we have pertussis, then we have the flu, and all these things our health department is responsible for. They're the ones that are on the front line of everything that's happening here. Because they were willing to step up to the plate, change how they're doing, and be able to make sure that all this stuff is being taken care of from our community, our Board of Commissioners wants to say thank you to the Health Department for all the great things they're doing. So, Wendy?
Wendy Chert, Health Officer. I'm not going to say much because I think everybody's sick of hearing me talk. So I want to introduce Jody Kelly. She's one of our community health directors who's normally over the maternal, infant, child programs, quite a few of them, and did not have any formal crossover training into the communicable disease program. And our communicable disease director was out when pertussis started, and Jody just dove right in and took over and has done a stellar job. So wanted to make sure everybody knew the face behind who has made the pertussis hotline happen and all the case investigations, and she's just done a wonderful job. I can't say enough good things about her.
Thanks, Wendy. I really could never have done it without such an incredible team, and this is a team of staff that I feel so privileged to have had the opportunity, even though it's under these circumstances. I wouldn't have been working with them in this way without that. And so I'd really like to thank them and all of you for supporting us. Thanks.
Thank you. Good job.
As it's the last meeting of the year, all the presentations come out, So it is my pleasure to give plaques to county commissioners who have served our community. And the first one I have is to Charlie Rennie, County Commissioner, 2013-2014. Congratulations, Charlie.
Thank you all very much.
The second one I have is Dick Thomas, County Commissioner, 1994 through 2014. We might have people in the audience that weren't even born.
Thank everybody. It's been fun. Thank you.
The next one I have is to Larry Inman, Grand Traverse County Commissioner, 1992 to 2014.
Wow.
Going forward to serve us in the future.
Thank you, Sonny. Appreciate it. If I could just have a second, if I could, Mr. Chairman. I just want to let everyone know on the board and past board members, all the elected officials I've served with for 22 years on this Board of Commissioners, the staff, everyone has been just wonderful to work with. And it's just unbelievable that 22 years has gone by so quickly. And I have cherished every moment of my responsibility and trust being on this Board of Commissioners. And it's going to be really hard for me to leave. This chambers. It's been a way of life for me for a long time. And I will deeply miss the relationships, the friendships, and the duties and responsibilities of an elected official here in Grand Traverse County. And I'd like to thank the public for having the confidence in me for 22 years to represent them. Thank you so much.
And last but certainly not least, to Herbert Limcool, County Commissioner 1997 to 2008 and 2011 to 2014. He wasn't smart enough not to come back when he got out here. And I also have the Chairman gavel to present him with his name engraved on that also. At this time, I'd like to turn the microphone over to Representative Wayne Schmidt, who has a couple presentations also. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Vice Chair. On behalf of myself, Governor Snyder, and Senator Howard Walker, following the tradition back when I was Commissioner, 10 years of service in the role, we do recognize when you do that. That's kind of a tradition here at Grand Traverse County. So first, I'd like to call up my future colleague. Whoops, I'm sorry. Thank you, Connie. I apologize. I should know, speaking to the mic. Larry Inman, future colleague here coming up. Just like to present a tribute on behalf of myself, Senator Walker, and Governor Snyder for your 22 years of service. So there you are.
Wow, thank you so much.
We'll have some fun down in Lansing.
I hope you get his same office.
Yeah, he does. Oh, no. He doesn't, no. He doesn't get the one I just moved out of. No, yeah, I tried to put in a good word, but you don't get that capital office, sorry. Next is to my good friend Dickie Thomas, too. It was a pleasure serving with you as a county commissioner and also as your state representative. So again, on behalf of myself, Senator Walker, and Governor Snyder, thank you for your service.
What, Wayne?
And finally, to my colleague that I enjoyed serving with and always there on transportation issues, Mr. Chairman, if you'd please come forward again, honoring you for your many years of service to Grand Traverse County on behalf of myself, Senator Walker, and Governor Snyder. So
thank you.
Thank you very much.
Next, we have items removed from the consent calendar, number 13.
Mr. Chairman, I asked that this be pulled. The reason that I did was because the vehicle maintenance contract that was issued by the Sheriff's Department or sent out by the Sheriff's Department included all county vehicles. And this contract is not in line with the bids that were put out for all county vehicles. David, do you have a comment about that? Because I believe that we had this discussion a year ago, that the specifications that were sent out by the Sheriff's Department stipulated all county vehicles.
You know, you caught me flat-footed on that one, but I think that the Health Department, there was some discussion about going down to a shop down in Kingsley.
D&W.
And the Health Department, it wouldn't have made a lot of sense to go through. So my recollection is that it didn't apply to other fleet vehicles. But I can research it and find out.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry, Commissioner Wheelock. We did have a discussion about that at Commission on Aging, and the information that we had was that Commission on Aging could be bid out separately. Now, where that information came from, other than it was funneled through the department head, I don't know.
You know, and I understand these bids were taken out, and I'm sorry I didn't catch it until very late last night. And but I do believe that you know, the specifications that were sent out for vehicle maintenance specified all county vehicles. You know, I don't know how best to handle this, whether we should, you know, this company that's being recommended, I don't have a problem with. I really don't. I'm sorry, I should have gotten a hold of the proper information before tonight. I did not get to it.
We'll look into it.
So do you want to table this?
I would ask that we not sign the Commission on Aging vehicle maintenance contract until we review that, because I am almost positive the Sheriff's Department specifications and that contract that we have approved specifies all county vehicles.
Mr. Chairman, I'll move to table.
Okay. Do I have support?
Second.
Inman, do we have to have a roll call on that?
Is there someone from the commission?
No, just a majority vote.
Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's carried. Next is number 34, MSU Extension.
That was me. If someone wants to make a motion, then I'm more than happy to discuss.
Mr. Chairman, I would move to approve the MSU extension agreement for extension services for 2015.
Supported by Thomas.
Discussion.
Now we have discussion.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. We are spending $29,000 that we do not need to spend. Benzie, MSU Extension, spends $44,201 a year. Wexford County spends $56,000. Kalkaska, $76,300. Manistee, $38,420. Grand Traverse County, $268,000. And that does not include rent for office space. We would still get a 4-H coordinator. It would not be a full-time, but in lieu of the financial situation that we have in front of us in 2015, I'm not going to approve this.
Any other discussion? Sonny?
I believe you'll find that the agreement for extension services that's in your packet is those core services that were originally contracted were guaranteed for 5 years.
It's an extra $29,000. No, core was $59,000. This is a contract for $88,000.
Because we approved the other half-time 4-H person for part of that, and for that original 5-year contract.
Right.
I believe that the 5-year contract that we committed to that runs through, I believe it runs through 2016, if my memory is correct, was for the core services plus the half-time 4-H coordinator for a total of the $88,000.
That's what the motion says, that we will approve the chair to sign the agreement for extension services provided by Michigan State University, Grand Traverse County, amount of $555.
Okay.
Any other discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Max Bauer,
No.
Rennie,
Yeah.
Thomas,
Yes.
Wheelock,
Yes.
Inman,
Yes.
Lemko.
Yes. Motion carries. Next item that was pulled from the consent calendar is,
Number 37.
what number was it? 38?
Number 37.
37. Property and liability insurance. Chris, you pulled that?
Yes, I don't wish to approve.
Mr. Chairman, I move that we sign the contract with MMRMA to provide property liability coverage for Grand Traverse County for 2016.
Second.
Second by Ronnie.
That's a 2-year contract, correct,
Right,
Dave?
Rennie.
That's correct.
So it's 15, 16.
Yep. Any other discussion? Larry?
Yes, I would just like to publicly clarify the discussion at Ways and Means that Chris Cook does not have a contractual relationship with MML or MMMRMA, nor is he pursuing a discussion and has, no, as far as I understand, is not involved in any discussions with them regarding any contractual services with either one of those entities. I will say that my accolades of Chris Cook were from the heart and not for any other purposes. And I have no problem disclosing that I received a campaign contribution from his wife and himself, and he is the attorney of record for my historical collection on Amelia Earhart called Remember Amelia, of which he recently obtained a trademark for me, so I'm able to pursue a national traveling exhibit. So I will make that disclosure if you can put that in the record.
Chris?
Well, I wasn't going to expound upon this, but I will. My objection to MMRMA doesn't have anything to do with Mr. Cook. It is because of our past experience, which in my opinion, MMRMA will fight virtually nothing. And I've talked to Dean Bott about this in telephone conversations. Yes, we have member privilege. Well, member privilege really is if you want to step up and pay for your own legal fees and fight when you're right, there's no advantage. So for that reason, I oppose.
Charlie?
I would like to ask Mr. Inman if there was a campaign contribution from Chris Cook. Would you clarify that, please?
Yes, there was. And his wife.
I'm sorry?
And his wife.
Okay, thank you. And I would also like to know if there was any campaign contribution or interest from Mr. Olson or the other underwriter.
No.
Thank you.
Thank you for asking.
I think you should have brought it up.
I have had a conversation with Mr. Inman on this, and I fully believe that there is no conflict. And he has only expressed what all of us commissioners have expressed all along, is that Chris Cook was our attorney of record that we would like to continue working with over the years because of the quality of work that he gave to us in represented us for Charlie Jeter's lawsuit. So I think that that's more of the expression that he was expressing more than it was for anything else. So with that, I'll call for a roll call vote.
Rennie?
Yes.
Thomas?
Yep.
Wheelock?
Yes, ma'am.
Inman?
Yes.
Max Bauer?
No.
Lemkohl?
Yes. Motion carries. Next on the agenda is the equalization, the amended proportionate report.
Jim Baker, Director of Equalization, Grand Traverse County. It's come to my attention that there was a discrepancy in the report that I asked you to approve in November. And we had a debt rate for the community college at half of what it should have been. And this current report puts the total debt rate millage at 0.74 for Northwestern College, and it increases the projected revenue on page 3 from 11.3 million to a little over 13 million. So I request that we amend this for a discrepancy we found after it was approved in November.
Yeah.
Mr. Chairman,
Motion by Thomas, support by Wheelock. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's carried.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next is Human Resources, the dispatch, Teamsters dispatch contract.
Jen Seaman, Human Resources Director. The first one in front of you is for Teamsters Dispatch. They have agreed to the same terms as the other contracts that have already been before you with the new health insurance plan, the reduction of 3 personal days, and the reduction in the defined contribution retirement plan of 3%. It's a one-year contract as well.
Mr. Chairman, I would move to approve the Teamster Dispatch contract January 1, 2015 through December 31st, 2015.
Support by Rennie. Any discussion? Mr. Thomas?
Oh, it's supported?
Yep.
Okay.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's carried. Next, COAM dispatch supervisors.
Mr. Chairman, I would move to approve the COAM dispatch supervisors January 1st, 2015 through December 31st, 2015 contract.
Support by Rennie. Any discussion? Charlie?
I would like her to review what that agreement's all about.
It's exact same as the Teamsters Dispatch contract, which includes the health insurance plan change, 3 personal days, 3 less personal days, reduction of 3% in the defined contribution, and also this group has retiree health care, and that will end at the end of this contract.
It's a reduction to 3 days in the payout for the personal time.
Correct. Reduction of 3, yes.
A reduction of 3 days.
Any other discussion? All those in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's carried. Next, Circuit Court.
Mr. Chairman, I move to approve the Circuit Court Association agreement for January 1st, 2015 through December 31st, 2015. and with the same guidelines that we've passed with about 10 of them now, right? 12 of them?
8, you're on number 9. No one's counting, though.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Still got a couple to go.
I need a support. Rennie? Any other discussion? Chris?
This, as I read it, is not a defined contribution
That's correct.
plan.
We,
I recall asking specifically,
yes, you did.
and I got a
Told
nod.
yes, we were looking to do that.
And
Fortunately,
this-
we can't. We are not, because we are not 50% funded, we can't change to a DC plan.
Oh.
80% to change the benefit level, 50% to go to a DC plan.
My question is, we can go to a defined contribution plan. Tell me what it would take.
We would have to pay probably a little over, I think, I did the calculation, it's a little over $1 million countywide. For this unit, it was
$272,000
$72,000.
and some change, just for this unit, and then over $1 million countywide, because
The
your
one-year-
municipality and your court have to be at least 50% funded, both.
I forgot about that.
So
So you're
it's a
telling
one-year
me-
agreement.
That,
Even if we wanted to, we couldn't.
That's a MERS rule.
And we didn't find out until after the meeting.
I think we can.
We looked it up.
No, I understand. I understand it's $1 million. I got that. I believe that there's $1 million to be found. And I realize that it's not going to be found right this minute, and I realize that it's Christmas, and I will be outvoted. So I'm going to be quiet now, and I simply am going to vote no.
We are fortunate in that it is a one-year contract. So we'll have the opportunity in the next 12 months to try to figure out how we deal with our pension liability. And maybe by the time the contract is up for renewal, 12 months from now, we will be able to do something different.
All right.
Well, just to make sure that the public knows, we are on an accelerated amortization, and we're banging towards, last year was this year was 14 years, and they're going to continue to wind us down, or we're going to be accelerating 13, 12, 11, 10.
We have double payments
So we're on the
years.
move for clearing this out over the next 13 years. Okay, all right, thanks.
Any other discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Thomas?
Yes.
Wheelock?
Yes, ma'am.
Inman?
Yes.
Max Bauer?
No.
Rennie?
Yes.
Lemkool?
Yes. Motion carries. Next contract that was added to the agenda?
Circuit Court Supervisors, it's exactly the same as the association.
Motion to approve.
Support by Inman. Discussion, Chris?
So, Jen, are you telling me that we are the same amount, I know we are countywide, we are not at 50% funded, but is it the same unfunded amount?
28, the supervisors, sorry, Chris, 28.9% is
right.
what the funded is in this supervisors group.
Okay, thank you.
Because there's 2 members in it. They're both in the DB plan, and been over here a long time.
Okay.
I have a motion. All those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed?
Aye.
Roll call, please.
Wheelock?
Yes.
Inman?
Yes.
Max Bauer?
No.
Rennie?
Yeah.
Thomas?
Yes.
Lemkool?
Yes. Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
By the way, I'd just like to say thank you, Jen, for your perseverance in getting these contracts. I've heard nothing but great things from the employees about how well you respect them and how much they appreciate working with you and Dave in making these contracts. I don't think the community understands what a great accomplishment this is for this year, because these contracts were not easy. It's not easy on the employees. It's not easy on the administration. But I just want to say thank you for all the work that you've done in putting this together. Dave, you too. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next is Administration Finance. Attached, we have claims for November that we didn't have, and then we also have claims for December that's on your desk. Right?
We approved the November
Nope.
No, okay.
No.
Mr. Chairman, I would move to approve the November claims and the December claims.
Second.
Second by Rennie. Any other discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion's carried. Next, there's some additional budget adjustments. It's on your desk.
If I may,
It's okay, 'cause I see 'em.
these are in addition to the ones that are in
Yeah, there it is.
your packet. There are three. One is to increase the liquor tax revenue to cover the appropriation. We give 50% of that revenue to the new regional entity for substance abuse programs. That's the $71,000 adjustment. And then we received a grant from the state for some work that the Land Bank is doing regarding the Acme Bayshore project. That was a $44,000 grant that came in and is going to be expended, so we need to increase the budget for that. And then the last one is an increase in the retiree reimbursements for the post-employment benefits of $5,758. And those are the last budget adjustments that I anticipate that would require board approval for this year.
Motion to approve budget adjustments by Rennie, support by Thomas. Any other discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion's carried. Next is unfinished business, soil erosion discussion action.
Mr. Chairman, I move to table.
Second.
Motion to table and a motion to second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion's carried.
Who seconded that?
Inman.
Thank you.
Next is business plan for Twin Lakes. I need a motion to approve. This is a kind of a complimentary, or what do you want to, it's not really something we have to do, but the Parks Board is bringing it forward so that everybody understands what's going on. Chris?
Yeah, I have to say, I'm so proud of this Parks Board. I share Elisa Kropa's pride in this business plan, and I want to let everyone know that regarding the alcohol, we did have, and insurance premiums, we did have advice of counsel. Chris Forsyth was extraordinarily kind in giving us the counsel that we needed, and this is a fluid plan. This is an opportunity to dramatically increase the use of our public parks and increase revenue at the same time. So I sincerely hope you will all approve it.
Is that a motion?
It is.
I support.
Motion to approve. My only comment is that I would hope that you had a discussion with a neighbor on the lake to find out where he's at on some of this stuff and make sure he's well aware of what you're expecting.
You can't do anything on 175 acres of Twin Lake Park without Chaz being there, I can tell you that.
Like he's not aware.
Yeah, well, I just want to make sure that the conversation is open there. I know we've had some challenges.
Chaz has been in contact with me on a regular basis, and I'm sure he's probably been in contact with Commissioner Wheelock on a regular basis, too.
Go ahead, Sonny.
I guess the comment that I would like to make is, you know, I do appreciate the efforts by the Parks Committee for sure about the business plan for Twin Lakes. I've had some brief conversations with Alicia about it. There's going to be some opportunities here very directly for some of the neighboring community to have some input in regard to this business plan also. I was obviously I've been a key part of Twin Lakes for a long, long time, and it's been a part of my heritage. So, but what I would say is that when we did the master plan for Twin Lakes, we got a lot of participation from the local community, the people, the neighbors, and I hope that, you know, before we cast this business plan in stone, that we also have the opportunity to meet with those neighbors. And I've been assured that that is going to happen.
Yes.
And it, you know, the way it's outlined in the plan and the way the plan's laid out, there's going to be opportunity to have that. Because, you know, as most all of you know, Twin Lakes is a 175-acre park that was donated to Grand Traverse County by 5 neighbors. So, you know, it didn't all happen at one time. It's not something that we got from the DNR. It's not something that we bought along the way. This property was donated by the community, surrounding Twin Lakes and the Long Lake community. And it's very key to those folks. Generations later, it's still very key to those folks. So I think this is an excellent plan, and I really believe there's a lot of potential for us to expand the use of this park. It's a hidden gem. People
really is.
People don't have any idea that it's there. And even when they come to Twin Lakes and they come to Gilbert Lodge, they see the dorms, they see the field, but they don't realize this is a 175-acre park. It goes clear out to Straight Road to the west, and it goes about halfway across to Cedar Run Road to the north. So it's a big piece of property.
Isn't there a strip that goes all the way to Cedar Run Road?
No, it backs up to, basically it backs up to Har Drive.
Okay.
There's a stub road on the back side of Gallagher Estates subdivision that could access the north side of that park if we chose to. And there may be a time that may be a good option for us. One of the things that we've talked about over the years, and this obviously isn't the place for the discussion, is the fact that because of the way Twin Lakes Park is laid out, there's truly only one access to it.
That's true.
And when groups are using the lodge or using the dormitory, it's very difficult for anyone to access the rest of the park. So, there's potential. We put a small parking lot off from Straight Road a few years ago, just a little access, more than anything else, to access our tower that's there. But there's a small access over there, and other than that, we have the opportunity to come in off from the north side very easily on the stub road. But that's future development of Twin Lakes Park. But more than anything else, I wanted to, as part of this business plan, recognize that this, unlike most parks that communities have, this is where neighbors came together and donated the park.
Okay, I have a motion to receive, or do we have to receive and file or approve? How would we?
I'll move to approve. How's
Okay.
that?
All right.
I'll be clear.
Support by Rennie. Any other discussion?
I just want to reiterate that the Parks Board is going to keep the county board in the loop.
Good. So, thank you. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's carried. Next on the agenda is our second public comment. Anybody from the public like to make comment? Next is commissioner reports. Any commissioner want to make a report?
Merry Christmas.
Yeah.
Chris?
I really don't have a report, but I do want to ask the administrator publicly, I just want a yes that you're going to respond to the township supervisors who have concerns about community police officers and their contracts.
Yes.
Thank you. That's all I wanted to hear.
Okay. Charlie?
I would just like to say real quickly, I enjoyed 2 years on this crazy committee. It was a great experience for me, and I was honored to be given the opportunity to do a couple years of community service.
Great. Thank you.
Anybody else? I think the notices is next. Any notices? When is the first meeting of next year going to be held, and what time?
January 2nd, I believe
8 o'clock in the morning.
8 a.m., January 2nd.
Judge Stanton will be swearing in the new commissioners, all of you. We have new nameplates for you, too, so you can keep your old one, but you can't keep the holder.
So I would just like to say it's been a pleasure to work with each and every one of you for over these years. As chairman, I've had a great group, a great team to work with on this. We've accomplished quite a bit, even though it may not seem like it at times. We have. And it's been a pleasure working with all the elected officials and all the department heads. We can't do our work without having the department heads and the employees. My biggest goal this year is to recognize employees, to make sure that they understand that they're valued as part of our team. And I think we've done that by showing that our labor contracts show that we've done something right. And I really appreciate all the work that everybody's doing. And I hope that everybody has the best of holidays, and Merry Christmas and Happy New Year, and keep up the faith and have your health. Thank you.
Thank you, Herb.
No closed session?
Apparently,
No closed
real
session.
soon, I will be the old dog that can't get off the porch. But, I do want to,
Thank you for
again,
not calling me one of those.
thank all of the commissioners, both those that are returning and the ones that are leaving. You know, it has truly been an honor to serve with all of you.
Thank you, Sonny.
Sonny, I got to tell you, that's the best popcorn ever.
That was good popcorn.
That's all about my wife. You know, I have nothing to do with it.
Mrs. Wheelock makes great caramel corn.
I have my iPad. Does anybody else? Charlie, you have turned yours in?
I'm not ready to turn it in.
Okay.
I told
make-
Chris I would turn it in.
Okay. So make sure you do that.
We have no closed session. Motion to adjourn, sir.
Support.
We are adjourned.
All right, thank you.
Merry Christmas, everyone.
An hour. We did
Good
this in
job.
an hour.
20 minutes
Good job.
for presentations.
I'll be around.